I'm excited to share our new scheduling costs functionality is in very early beta. So what this feature is essentially a way for you to see all of your wages and revenue associated with scheduling and then run some analysis on all of that data, including future forecasts. Now, this is very early and we are aware of some limitations. For example, you can't compare week to week and month on month. And you also, this feature doesn't consider revenue and wages that are outside of scheduling, for example, tasks and coordination, which is something that we are looking at in the future. So you access this by going to the scheduling costs page within the scheduling section, and this outlines a few helpful widgets and some graphs, and then a breakdown of each team member with filtering. Now, you can also add additional costs outside of wages to this by using our cost schedule. So you would click on actions, click manage cost schedule, and in here you can add your different costs. So you can add two different types. One would be a percentage of payroll. So this will be automatically calculated based on the payroll amount. This is useful for things like work cover, payroll tax, and things like that. Then you also have other fixed costs. So you can choose to have a fixed amount, which repeats at some frequency. And you can have this to be, for example, your rent might repeat every fortnight, or other insurances that are quarterly or annually, and things like that. So once you've added all of that in, you'll be able to see the breakdown, and you can add the filters by timesheet batch or site, cost codes, which is another beta functionality, and go through and review any of the issues that arise. And this is mainly to do with setting up their employment contract, which I'll talk about now. So you need to ensure that each team member has an employment contract set up so Astalty can actually interpret their worked hours and cost them. So we have this employment contracts report you can use, which will essentially show you any of the staff that are missing their contract. You can then click the three dots on the right, click create contract, and add all of the relevant information here, including their SHADS level. You can override the base rate if you need to. If you're linked with Xero, you probably already have this set up. If not, you can link with Xero and pre-fill it. If you are using Employment Hero for payroll, you probably don't have this set up yet, but you can go and configure that. And in the near future, when we have the payroll Employment Hero integration direct, you'll be able to pre-fill from there as well. So go through and update all of this. You can also update this on a team member's profile by clicking into their account, clicking HR and payroll, and then editing the contract at the top right here. Now, in order to actually access scheduled costs, you need to configure your permissions on each user. So first and foremost, we have added a new permission, which allows other admin users to manage other admin users outside the account owner, which is something you couldn't do before. So in the past, only the account owner could actually update the permissions of other admin users, but we now have this permission that you can turn on, which would allow any admin user to update any other admin user. So that may need to be configured. Once you have the permission to update other admin users, you can then turn on the manage scheduling costs permission, and this would then give them access to that scheduling costs page, and also the ability to manage the cost schedule and things like that. So again, it is really early days for this feature, but we're very excited to hear your feedback and see what your thoughts are on the data that we're displaying, as well as any other suggestions about how we can make this more useful.